Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing another comic review, and this one isn't from Chris, this is one I got, a comic I got myself, and that is Brutal Nature. So, most of you guys have probably never heard of Brutal Nature. It is a IDW book that even I wasn't aware of until I was just kind of like skimming through just some fun online shopping, and I was just kind of like looking through stuff, and then I saw Brutal Nature Omnibus, and I saw this like cover, and I was like, ooh, I'm intrigued. So I read I got this on a whim, literally. I got this offline on a whim, and I'm kind of glad I did. Yeah. So what is Brutal Nature? This omnibus right here is both stories. Brutal Nature is a comic written by Luciano Saracinco. I'm trying to pronounce the name I'm reading right now. And artwork by Ariel Ovoletti, who most of you guys have seen Ovoletti's artwork for Marvel and DC. It's very painted, very like Ovoletti's very good at drawing muscles, and when you're and also making monsters. So when you have muscly monsters, you kind of get like really good Ovoletti designs. Like check that. I don't know if the mic it's gonna show, but like check that out. There you go. That's kind of what the artwork you're getting from Ovoletti. So what is this comic about? The comic actually, I'm going to split it up into two parts. I don't think I'll review the sequel yet, because I haven't read that half yet, but I will talk about the first half. So the first half deals with this character named Each, and Each means mask, but it also means soul, and there's a reason for that. This is set during the Spanish conquest of Central America, and the genocides that were committed. This character, Each, this young warrior Each, has these hordes of sacred masks that when he puts them on, he becomes monsters, which he then uses this power to kill the Spanish invaders of Central America. Each is more or less running around the entirety of South America fighting against the Spanish conquest. Meanwhile, the Spanish colonizers, pick your poison, send word to an inquisitor to deal with him. And the inquisitor is revealed to be, well, they don't really say out loud. That's the thing of what he is. Human he ain't. I'll say that much. So, this comic, I'm going to say right out the gate, if you love things like Primal and Bloody Roar and things like that, this is definitely the comic for you. This is definitely a series that... this comic is definitely a series that is brutal, violent, and also has even though both volumes are 4 issues each, for an omnibus it's only 8 issues, but it really goes into this whole thing of talking about, you know, genocides and colonization and what happens to the people because, who get left behind. The first half is very visceral, and for only 4 issues, I usually talk about like pacing and whatnot, but honestly, the pacing for both this part and the second part is actually well done. It's actually a very well done comic. Each is a very, he's sullen, he's defeated, and he has to keep going. Like, that's what his whole thing is, that he has to keep fighting no matter what, because no one else has the power to try to drive out the Spanish. The Inquisitor we have here, name is Luper. He is nothing short of a bastard, and you are going to love to hate him. You are going to absolutely love to hate this guy, because he commits so many atrocities, and he's clearly not human. They don't say what he is, but again, human he is not. There's some brutal moments, some great monster action, and then we cut to the second half. You know what, screw it, I'll talk about the second comic. The second comic is set in the future, and deals with the reincarnation of Each, as he's discovering the masks and also getting his own monster powers in his own right. In that series, this deals with Each's next incarnation, and dealing with, letting go of hate, and also, learning more about the masks. It's actually a pretty sullen story, especially both comics are very melancholy and have kind of an ending that's just really depressing. It's really depressing, but it also ends on a bittersweet note. That's kind of the thing, is that if if you want happy endings, it's going to be a bittersweet ending, and that's the best I can offer. The best I can offer is a bittersweet ending for these characters. So, you know, be prepared for that. Now, would I recommend this? Absolutely. Like I said, if you love comics, if you love things like Primal and Bloody Roar, this actually gave me a lot of the video game Bloody Roar vibes. This is the comic for you. It's about $30, but you can probably find it online for cheaper. This series I had no idea existed, and I just looked at the title and went, "Oh, people who turn into monsters and kill some colonizers, and some weird." The second half is, I'm going to admit, the second half is pretty bizarre because it goes into like cloning and monster stuff and like draining blood to make it's weird. The second half gets weird. And there is some surreal. Not to say there isn't surreal stuff in the first comic, but it's definitely worth your time. I highly recommend this if you want to check out something that isn't like a known IP IDW book, or you know, if you want like some cool monster action and some brutal stuff in here. This is the comic for you. I highly recommend Brutal Nature. Yeah, if you enjoyed like Primal, Bloody Roar, Killing Bites, things like that, you're gonna love this. So there you go, guys. That is my review for Brutal Nature. You guys tell me in the comments below if you've read the comic. Comment below, let me know what you guys thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.